Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Step Up with myself, TJ, and it is great having you around. Well, today we want to talk about another similar topic that we recently spoke about, and this topic here is what is a property development business? Yes. A few days ago, we did speak about a topic on how do you start that. And then someone else, they hit us with some questions to say, but TJ, what is that business all about? And my goal on this channel is to make sure that I do not leave you stuck. I am here to enable you so that you can be able to step up your game. If you're not able to step up your game, how best can you do that? So let's dive into it in terms of answering the question of what is a property development business, right? You could be wondering that question because maybe you want to start one, but like I did say, we mentioned it in another video. So in the other video, you can literally jump on it to talk about how do you start. But let's define what is a property development business. Well, let's speak of it in the context of South Africa. Right, number one, and let's speak of it in the context of real estate. So what is a development, what is a property development business, right? So let's dive into it. Number one, it is a company, right? So that's the first thing. It is a company, and for the fact that it is a business, it has to be registered as a company. So some people might trade into it as a sole prop. I've seen that a lot. I do not advocate for that. And there's a reason that we will dive into in the next couple of videos. And then, or it might be a CC. Well, you might be wanting to start that business today, but because there are not too many CCs that are running, so that's not happening, right? For you to go and buy one, it might just cost you an arm and a leg. Hey, we want you to have both of your arms today, so I wouldn't recommend for that. Right, so let's assume that it is a company. So that's the first thing that we are defining here. It is a company of sort, right? And as a company of sort, what does it do? What is the speciality here of this business? Every business has its own speciality, the core thing that they're supposed to be doing. In this case, this particular business here, the core thing is to develop. What is development? Right. Now, when we're talking about development, automatically in our heads, we already want to say, oh, okay, so they own lots of land and they go and build for the purposes of renting them out or for the purposes of selling. Not necessarily so. I have seen development companies that own zero land, right? They do not own any land or any form of land. What is their core business? Their core business is to develop, is to construct. Development company, construction company, kind of like live on the same WhatsApp group if you can like think of it that way. Now, as a developer or as a construction company, so if you're a developer, what do? You can't develop something that you're not able to see, isn't it? So potentially you're seeing some opportunities somewhere and you're able to identify it. When you identify it and then you say, I can develop this. That's where the term development comes from, right? You can develop it. But the layman term of development is you can construct something out of it. So constructing means you're putting a construction project on it. Now, when I start speaking of construction, then I want us to dive into a number of things. You could own a development company or a construction company and totally never own any piece of land. I have seen so many people like that, right? I have seen them, right? So as a construction company, or as a development company, your job now is just to construct, right? And for some of you who are like wanting to be in the real business of real investments, like what I do at my other sister company and my other sister channel that we speak about at M5 Property Addicts, the thing here is, if you're a development company or you're a construction company, that's what you do. In some cases, you are hoping or you are job hunting as a developer. So you're looking for opportunities where you can do the constructions. So it might be someone's house that you go and do a development on. We have seen that quite a lot. There's lots of people that want to develop their houses from scratch or build their houses from scratch. So you call upon a construction team or you call upon a development company to say, hey, can you come in and develop my house? And normally it's a construction company that will come in. They will give you a quotation to say, we can do it this way. I know quite a few of my boys who do exactly that. And there are certain qualifications, which is a topic for another day, of what do they need to do for them to be a developer, or should they be a construction company? Right. Now that we have spoken about, that can be something that is a residential base. Right. The same people can go and do a construction on a big building that is owned by the government, or a big building that is owned by a private individual, a private company, and things like that. Again, what is their job? Their job is to construct, right? Now, in the construction space, there's lots of players that will get involved. People like engineers, people like town planners, people like builders, people like plumbers, there is so many professionals that are needed. If you are then appointing a developer, you are divorcing yourself from looking for all of these professionals, and this development company will come in and literally give you what they call a turnkey. So you give them the money and you give them the project, and boom, you go on holiday, you come back, and there is something that you love. Right? I hope that makes sense. And in a nutshell, that's what a development company is. Now, I want to state, I have seen development companies that have also tend to be development and investment companies. How did that come to be? So it's kind of like fusing or putting two things together, right? So for instance, a development company, all of a sudden now they're making money. They make 100,000 from one project, another one now 1 million from another project. And the owner of the business now says to themselves, I want to go and buy a piece of land. So they go and buy a piece of land, right? So are they still a development company? Of course they are, right? They are looking for opportunities out there, but this time around on their book, which we'll talk about, on their book, right? On their asset, on their balance sheet, something that we need to talk about, and then we will dive into next videos around all of these things. On their balance sheet, if you don't know what's a balance sheet, that's okay. Don't worry. This is Step Up. We talk about all of these things so that you know exactly how you can step up if you don't know, and you can step up into the knowledge, right? So now as a development company, they've gone on to buy a real estate, a piece of land somewhere, and they've seen the opportunity. Maybe they can rezone it. What is rezoning? Well, at our sister channel M5 Property Addicts, you can learn quite a lot about what is zoning. We have interviewed a couple of town planners that have taken us through the journey of what is town planning, right? And what is zoning. Here, we talk about the business itself, right? So we are hoping that you've been enjoying the content there, and you have gotten now the skill, and potentially you've gone to school. But if you haven't, you need to, right? You can't jump onto YouTube. You can't jump onto hearsay of this is how you need to start it. You're gonna lose some money. But let's talk about it. We are talking here about the property development business. What is it, right? That's what we are talking about. So if I've identified now, so maybe they own a piece of land. With that piece of land now, how best can they develop it? Now, once they get all the compliance, they can now start the development, which is their core skill. But owning the land was an investment, and anyone can do that. Whether you're an investment company or whether you're just a developer, you can do that. But I've also seen a lot of developers that don't even own the land that will get the opportunity to construct, that might go into a joint venture with the landowner, that might get the property on a lease or something like that for them to be able to develop that particular project. So the bottom line that we were trying to answer for is, what is a property development business? I'm hoping that I have answered your questions, and if this is not clear, in the comments below, I'd like you to hit me and let's engage on what it is. Maybe this is something that you want to start. You can start. By the way, I did say that I did do a video before on how best you can start. And if you are new to this channel, at the bottom there, I'd like you to hit that subscription button, hit the subscribe button, so that whenever we have a video that is up or loaded or that is gone live, you can be the first one to get it. And above that, you can step up your own game to wherever you want to be. It is I, your boy, TJ. I will check you on the next video.